Hey guys, welcome back to Nina's Virtue. Today we're going to be talking about the disciplined yes. There's a line in a song I've been listening to lately, and I've been just singing it like full blast, playing it every day. It's called The Hymn Reprise by, let me see if I can find the artist. The Hymn Reprise by Jabari Johnson. And it has a line where it's like, I'll do what you want me to do. I'll do what you want me to do. I'll go where you want me to go. I'm gonna be who you want me to be. I'll go where you want me to go. I'll do what you want me to do. I'll do what you want me to do. I'll be who you want me to be. I'll say what you want me to say. Want you to have your way. And the more I listened to this, the more I realized that this is a part of the disciplined yes. We love the sound of surrender. We love the poetry of obedience. But surrender is not emotional. It's a structured based format. It is the architecture of your days, not the atmosphere of your worship. And today I want to talk about the discipline behind the yes you keep singing. When we tell God, use me, send me to do this thing, or allow me to be a vessel, shape me, a lot of us are imagining a moment that we think is a calling or a divine encounter. But most of the time, God answers with a simple routine. He answers with a system, a boundary, a habit, or a discipline, because he knows something we don't always want to admit. You cannot carry a surrendered life with an undisciplined lifestyle. You can't sing, I'll go where you want me to go, and then refuse the preparation that gets you there. Discipline is the proof that your surrender wasn't an emotional decision. It was intentional. It was something that you were doing with God in mind. It's the bridge between worship and walking it out. Here's the psychological truth. Identity is shaped by repeated action, not repeated desire. You don't become the woman God is calling you to be by wanting her. You become her by practicing the things that she has already done, the things that she no longer rehearses, but is just a part of her being. Discipline is identity rehearsal. It's you showing up as the future version of yourself until she becomes natural. And God doesn't promote potential. He promotes preparation. So when you say, Lord, I'll be who you want me to be, he starts shaping your days. He starts pruning your habits and starts confronting the parts of you that want convenience more than calling. All of these things are never to punish you. It is an opportunity to prepare you for exactly who you are called to be. Trust that the woman you are becoming requires more from you than the woman you've been. Obedience has a rhythm. This particular hymn, it felt good just singing, like, I'll go where you want me to go. I'll be who you want me to be. Whatever you say, God, I'll do. But I understood that my worship has a rhythm that has maybe died down. My obedience has a rhythm that has maybe died down. But my discipline is the tempo that keeps me in step with God. If I remain disciplined, even when I miss a beat, the discipline will get me back on track to remember the goal ahead of me. It keeps me from rushing. It keeps me from falling behind. It keeps me aligned with the pace of his instruction. Me being human is recognizing that even if I miss a beat, because God has called me somewhere, no matter how many bus stops I miss, he's going to get me there. And, alignment is an important thing because it is something that I desire. I desire to be aligned. So I'm asking him, hey, God, align me with your will. God, place me in the right place at the right time so I can do exactly what it is you've asked me to do. And this is where I understand, and I hope you too understand, that discipline is not restriction.
It's rhythm. It's the steady beat that keeps your life from drifting into chaos. And when you start honoring that rhythm that God has placed in you to start budding as this beautiful flower, you start noticing something new. You're given this grace, opportunity, and wisdom to appreciate the obedience that has been asked of you, because you see that it is now less of a struggle and more of an effortless flow in your life. I want you to say today, God strengthens my discipline. I choose obedience, growth, and purpose. Find somewhere to jot that down, put it in your notes, and read that for the next 5 days and see what happens, see what sprouts from that experience. I have in front of me today Hebrews 12:11. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. This is an emphasis on the fact that discipline may feel uncomfortable in the moment, but it leads to long-term growth, peace, and righteousness. There is glory in the obedience. There is prosperity in the obedience. There is joy in the obedience as long as you are open to it. When you truly say yes to God, it often requires a sacrifice. This sacrifice leads you to be obedient in a new way because you are giving up something that you thought you needed, that is not going to take you where God is calling you to go, which ultimately means it's time for you to surrender. In Luke 9:23, it says, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me." Saying yes to Jesus requires daily surrender and discipline. A real yes to God is not casual. It costs you your pride, your comfort, and sometimes the relationships you thought you couldn't live without, or plans you so desperately desired. But every sacrifice made in obedience makes room for God's purpose. The cost may feel heavy in the moment, but the reward is a life aligned with Him. A real yes will cost you your excuses. It will cost you the version of yourself that only moves when she feels inspired. Because inspiration is a moment. Discipline is the lifestyle you should be chasing. And if you're going to say whatever you want from me, then you have to live like you mean it. You have to structure your days around the woman God is shaping. You have to choose obedience when motivation fades. You have to discipline the parts of you that want ease more than evolution. Your yes cannot just be sung. It has to be lived. This podcast for me, listen, I have lost the motivation. There's a known saying that has been emphasized lately that says, don't rely on motivation, build discipline, because motivation fades, but discipline keeps you going. I have been truly lacking the discipline because I feel like I've been pulled in so many different directions. I said yes to a 75-day challenge, posting on YouTube every day, which is insane because I have to edit, I have to record, I have to really get myself together. And then I've been doing my master's program and I'm just like, oh my gosh, did I bite off more than I can chew? It's honestly been too much for me, to the point where my podcast episodes were not being posted on schedule. They weren't showing up when they were supposed to. And even my desire to encourage on this platform has been kind of, it has kind of died down in a sense because I haven't been able to motivate myself. How do I really believe I could motivate somebody else? But I'm here today letting it be known that it is possible for you to turn your surrender into structure. Because when you give your yes to God, you are trusting that He will carry you through. And when you are trusting that He is going to carry you through, you're going to continue to do it tired. You're going to continue to do it in question. You're going to continue to do it maybe even feeling like what you have to say is not good enough. But because He has called you to do it, because you believe that He desires for you to show up in this way, He wants to use your vessel in this way, you need to show up. There are people that are waiting on you to show up. There are people that are opening doors for you if you just show up. But if you don't show up, if you lack the obedience, what will be the result? So, I ask today, as a heart check, do your daily habits reflect the life you say God is calling you to? And once you answer that, I want you to ask yourself, are you waiting to feel motivated, or are you choosing discipline in obedience? For me, I was definitely waiting to feel motivated. Like, I had enough time today to just get up and do what I needed to do. And as you guys can see, last week I missed an episode, but I was like, oh, I'll just use it as like a blank week because, that's what I'm going to do for myself. But when you give God your yes, it's no longer you doing things for yourself. It's you doing things because God asked you to do them. You showing up in the capacity that God has trusted you to do. If God has trusted you, do you want to let him down? And this is not only a question for you, this is something that I'm asking myself. Because I've been able to do my part. I've been able to grow this platform. I've been able to touch a few people and encourage them to keep going. I would hate to let God down in any capacity because I didn't do what I told him I was going to do. Please, 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 I ask that you remember your mantra for this week. God strengthens my discipline. I choose obedience, growth, and purpose. And then, after using those 2 journal questions that we talked about, maybe the last question, which is a very important question, is, am I practicing the woman I'm praying to become? Are you actually pursuing that? Because God is not just listening to your worship. He's watching your rhythm, your habits, and the way you steward the yes you keep offering him. And I believe this is the season where your yes becomes disciplined, where your surrender becomes structured, where your obedience becomes embodied. Not because you're striving, but because you're aligning. This is the disciplined yes. This is your new era of becoming. Shake it up. This is the woman who no longer just sings the lyric, who no longer just talks the talk. She's living exactly what God has asked her to live. Thank you guys for joining me on this long-awaited episode. Thank you for believing in yourself. And most importantly, thank you for trusting God. Have a great week, guys. Continue walking boldly. Bye.